Ooh, this is bad quality up there. Okay, you're live. Okay, I'm live there. I need to be live here and here. When you're on an iPad, should I go like this to make it live?
I think the other way. Well,
this way,
yeah,
right?
That way.
Okay.
I think.
Wait. Starting live video. Okay. I really want it like right here. There we go. Okay, guys, I'm really just trying to get situated because I have 3 platforms running at the same time. This is my first time doing all Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at the same time. Why is Instagram the best quality though? So this is going to be the first of a series, Love Theory by LoveTank. And I am going to pretty much, I've been inspired by my bishop to talk about the quotes that are in the book. I won't go through the blogs at all, but I am going to go through Love Theory with you guys. So it's not just a quote that you're actually reading in the book, but it is also a way for us to kind of have dialogue. So if you don't have Love Theory by LoveTank, you can definitely purchase yours so you can join these live videos, and you can get Love Theory by LoveTank at livelovetank.com. Okay, so I hope everybody is doing amazing. This world is definitely, let me just take a breath. It has us in all over the place with emotions. It has us constantly stressed. So I wanted to find a way to kind of lighten the mood, talk about my new book that I'm very, very, very proud of, and kind of talk about one of the quotes today are in there. So if you don't know anything about Love Theory is there are some of my blogs in here, and it's pretty much a quote book. So like a daily quote book for people that are in relationships, not in relationships, dating, just to kind of spoof up the moment, get you thinking, because I think sometimes we forget to think about some of the relationships that we're in. So good morning. Oh, sorry, guys. Good morning to the people in California or on the West Coast, and good afternoon to those of you who are on the East Coast. So you guys see I'm wearing my Black Lives Matter Love Tank t-shirt. I just want to disclose I am all lives matter, but right now the movement is making sure that we have justice for the injustice. So I just want to make sure that that is very clear. I am very all people. If you know me well enough to know that I am for everyone. Okay. But this is not about that right now. This is about Love Theory. So if you do have your book, go ahead and turn with me to page 5. And it reads, I don't know if you guys can see on Facebook. Ooh. Sorry, the lighting is, oh, there you go. Oh, there you go. And here's YouTube. Oops. And here's IG. So we are on page 5. Okay. Relationships are your story. Those hard stories you're scared to share is what matters. Reflecting on that pain is your freedom. So let me let that resonate for a moment. Relationships are your story. Those hard stories you're scared to share is what matters. Reflecting on that pain is your freedom. So the purpose of this live is to really just communicate with my followers, and kind of just get the word out for Love Theory. I want to discuss this quote specifically. And if you do have any questions, you can definitely ask me in any of the platforms. But I want to just talk a little bit about that. I know that for me, LoveTank is my way of expressing my experiences in relationships and love, and being authentic and honest about my story is definitely important. I know that a lot of us want to find our freedom, and some of us have a hard time understanding what freedom actually means. And I truly believe that with freedom, you only can find the freedom through your own story. And your stories are so important. And let me just reiterate, your stories are so important that the world should have the opportunity to hear your voice. And I think that with everything that's going on in the world, we are scared. We're so terrified to share our stories because we are afraid of judgment. We're afraid of what people may think of us. And honestly, if your story matters so much, that if you're not sharing your story, even if it's in a small environment, your story matters. People want to hear your version of how you got through things, how you're navigating through life. It's okay to not have all of your ducks in a row or all the answers to every specific thing, but it's important to understand that if you share even with one person, you have the ability to change a life. I truly believe that even if it's just one person you're sharing your story with, you have the ability to change a life. I believe that love will save us, and I really believe it starts with our story. Now, let me bring it to you in 3 different aspects. 1, if you're in a relationship, it's important to share your story with your spouse, with your partner, with your person, with the individual that you're dating, and be vulnerable in the sense of sharing your story, because it allows that person the opportunity to truly get to know who you are if you're sharing your story. How are people supposed to know who you are if you're not sharing your story? That was bad. There is nothing to be ashamed of when it comes to getting to know somebody. Your story is what's going to be the impact on how they get to know you. Intimate relationships are complicated enough because we're trying to show them only the good. We're trying to tell them only the good things about our life, only the good things about the things that we've gone through. But no, the good, the bad, and the ugly matter. And nobody's perfect. So this illusion of trying to portray that all relationships are perfect and there is no point in difference when it comes to conversation, I am here to tell you, conversating about your story to your spouse is going to be the point of difference. 2, I think the trouble in the world starts with the fear of not being vulnerable in sharing your story. So let me give you an example. If I'm in an environment where I look different from the most, and I want people to feel my energy in such a way that they're going to want to know my story. And once they know my story, they have the ability to really see me in a different way based on what they know about me or what I tell them from my past. And specifically to this quote, it talks about the pain aspect being freedom. When you have the ability to truly share your stories, it allows for healing. It allows for, it allows for such a healing for you to be free from that pain. And it allows the other person to see you in a different way because they see you so vulnerable, but then they also have the ability to understand you differently because of your pain, and they can see the freedom because you shared your story. So the first thing is making sure those intimate moments and those intimate conversations do happen as the point of difference in your relationship. And the second thing is the troubles in the world. You can also have difference if you share your story so people can understand who you deeply are. And I'm not saying a post is relevant to sharing your story. It's okay to share with people who are in unknowing of what you represent, your morals, your standards. The only way you're going to be able to change the world is if you open your mouth and speak your pain, to allow that freedom so that other people can understand in a different way so that they can also find their own freedom. And the third thing is, in your family, having uncomfortable conversations are necessary. And although a family can grow up in the same household or have their immediate family, that are not in that household, having conversations about things that you go through. I've been watching a series, The Shy, and the thing that I've noticed the most in this series is that there's a lot of conflict. There's a whole lot of stuff happening in this show, but there's not a whole lot of deep conversations. So when an issue arises, nobody is having a conversation about the pain. They just listen to the conflict and try to figure out the next move without talking. So with that made me realize that happens a lot in family. It happens a lot in family where there's no conversation about pain. And there's two a brother and sister in the show that I love their dynamic, and it really truly gives me hope because when they talk, yeah, they have each other's back, but when they talk in a deep way. And that allows for healing in a lot of families as well if we allow for it. So again, this quote, relationships are your story. Those hard stories you're scared to share is what matters. Those are the ones that change the world. I'm telling you, people are so caught up in like what is going on. So you be surprised if you start sharing your story, even if it's about what's going on right now. And you have to be somebody like, I didn't know this was going on, and be that point of difference. But I'm telling you, your story matters so much that reflecting on that pain is your freedom. So if you guys don't have Love Theory, please, there are so many different quotes that we could talk about. Allow this book to not only change your life and change the dynamic of your relationships, but just your own mental process on how you observe the world, how you deal with things. I want this book to be on your coffee table. I want you guys to be able to talk about some of these quotes with your friends and allow for conversation to happen. It's so important. So relationships are your story. Those stories that you're scared to talk about are what matters. And within that pain is your freedom. That's probably going to be my favorite quote of the week. But again, your story matters, and I want you to always remember that. No, don't let anybody tell you that your story doesn't matter. If I would have, I've been asking my love tankers for testimonials about if I've impacted their life, if they've conversated with me or anything. And I am so grateful for those testimonials. And I will tell you, it all started with my story. The good, the bad, the ugly, the uncomfortable. And I'm grateful to hear what they have. I don't want to cry right now, but I'm grateful for what they have to say, because you really don't know how much you impact your life based on your story. You really don't know. So if you have a thought in your mind and you're saying that you don't matter, your story doesn't matter, it does. It takes a village to raise a child. So just imagine you having a village as an adult. We are your village, and we're here to support, to love, to hear your story. So that's all I have for today. I really appreciate you guys joining the live. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave them in the comment section on Facebook or on YouTube. On Instagram, you can leave them here live, and I'd be more than happy to answer any questions. But a great place that you can ask questions, if I'm not able to get to them here, is on our LoveTank app. On the app, there is a section that says Ask LoveTank, and it's just not me answering those questions, it's other people. So you have the ability to ask a question on LoveTank, on the LoveTank app, in the App Store and in the Google Store. If you don't have the app, go ahead and download it. And that is your ability to ask questions, even if it's a question about the quote that we discussed today. Ask your question there, and other love tankers will answer for you, because I want you guys to always remember this is a safe place. And not only it being a safe place, we're here to change the world together. Again, this is your girl, Jasmine Cruz. I'm so grateful for this opportunity to chat with you guys today. I hope you have a wonderful, 4th of July or day or whatever you celebrate. But please remember, if you guys have conversations today, let's start talking about our story so that our pain can turn into freedom. Have a great day, guys. Thanks again. Bye.